Anyways, guys, well, I'm gonna go out and have a smoke to, uh, you know, explain this. But this is pretty much the rundown of my content here. Um, so essentially, and it's cold as fucking bricks out, dude. Essentially, what my entire content consists of since I started back in September, like, seriously started back in September. Just all my gloves on here. Essentially, what the goal was, I went through EMDR therapy starting, 2021, and the doctor didn't really explain how, the scenarios worked, this, that, and the other thing. And he tried to make scenarios like, picture throwing like a stuffed animal in there. And I'm like, that's what little kids think of, dude. I'm like, do I look like a little kid to you? So like, I took the scenarios and I connected the scenarios with God, and I started, making it so, God gave me comfort within the scenarios. And essentially what that was supposed to do was, build comfort and remove the traumatic aspect to the memory that I was having. It's like, it's an extra thought process tied, that removes, the traumatic aspect to the memory. So it's just an additional thought process when you have the memory that allows you to process it, essentially tying, allowing your five senses, your memory, and your prefrontal cortex to connect. So you're functioning in real time, essentially. So that was very efficient, because every time I was trying to fix, a memory that I had to sit down, relax, and then I had to get myself to relax so I could, do EMDR. And then I had to tap both of my ears and then create a thought process, create a scenario. And I was like, okay, that's getting annoying. That's very inefficient. I can't do it on the spot. I'm running in place because I'm being attacked and I can't process in real time. So then, like, I went to the hospital in Landmark and Woonsocket, and I came back, and as soon as I came back, it just hit me all of a sudden, dude. I'm like, I have my phone. I used to make goofy videos all the time. I'm like, I can replicate EMDR with my phone through acting and literally venting. And I can vent and act and create scenarios so I can watch them back and laugh about it and be able to process in real time. And I was like, this is money, dude. It'll not only work in a way where I can get a shit ton of views, and I can become famous off of it, but I can also build my skill set from music and in acting, and I can also create, different characters. And then at the same time, I can heal, and I can come out clean on the other side of this. And I'm gonna edit all that out, but that took me literally like 4 minutes to light a cigarette out here in the cold. Anyways, what I was trying to say is my content was an extremely sophisticated form of EMDR. Now, I went through several changes in the methodology over the time period that I've been doing this. I started back in January of 2025 with a methodology that incorporated EMDR and sound therapy, which is binaural beats. And I changed the methodology several times until I got to this one, which this one finally stuck. And then when I was venting, when I was using the acting and using the singing, I was out in public and people started slamming me left and right, dude. And I was like, I'm being harassed, I'm being slammed, people are calling on me left and right. And I was like, dude, I would do this in my house if I had a house, but I'm homeless. I can't do. So then I was like, you know what, let me try to limit this and I started recording on property in Westerly, and I got fucking kicked out for that. I was trying to avoid getting fucking smashed by everybody around me. And, now we're at the point where everybody calmed down finally. Nobody's harassing me anymore, which is good. And I'm finally not screaming in my sleep anymore. I have a complex form of PTSD. I've been through hell my entire life. I've been tortured pretty much my entire life. I've been tormented, tortured, the whole nine. So, I grew up with a schizophrenic brother. I grew up with a mother who was crazy enough to admit she was crazy and says she uses it to her advantage, her craziness. So now you know how I grew up. Mind you, I have genius level IQ. I am the smartest person ever to live. I'm not saying that to toot my horn. Sometimes I fucking hate it, to be honest with you. And I feel for people who don't have this because, well, everybody deserves to be this logical. With that being said, this is what my content, involves. It's essentially a complex form of EMDR, which is eye movement decentralized reprocessing. Except instead of, eye movement and which utilizes both sides of your brain and allows you to process the memory. I use both sides of my brain in different ways. I can juggle. I can dance. I can sing. I've had to exercise my brain. I had a brain injury, which if you can see, there's a. It's very hard to see. Anyways, there's a scar in the middle of my head. There it is a little bit. You can kind of see it a little bit. There it is. There it is. So there's a scar there, and then there's one off to the right as well. I smacked the fuck out of my head in March of last year. I was already at the hospital, a psych unit. I shouldn't have been. And it was just an accident. I was doing a front handspring for the first time in a very long time. I didn't push up when I was upside down to get the rotation down. I ended up keeping my hands, bent, and I went right into the metal railing. And it took them 2 hours to transfer me. I should have been immediately. As soon as I got transferred, no brain scans, and no x-rays, just 8 staples, which should have been stitches. Staples were not the right format of, whatever, because the wound was still wide open. I cleaned it every day, multiple times a day. I made sure that shit didn't get infected. Saved it from an infection. In the hospital, and then got the staples taken out, which they just ripped it out of my head. They weren't gentle at all. Torture, yeah, again. And then needless to say, my prefrontal cortex went offline, because when you smack your head that hard, the part of your brain that gets smacked goes offline. I've had to operate through pure instinct, pure memory. I already knew how to do all this shit, which is how I was able to get through it. I already knew how to do this shit. So I operated off of pure instinct, pure memory. And then about 3 weeks ago, I finally got my prefrontal cortex functionality back. And started started getting my personality back, which is not gonna be the same ever again because I've had to, become very strong. I have so many more abilities than I did before the prefrontal cortex damage. And I know a lot more, and I'm a lot more smarter, and I changed at the same time. I'm the same but different. But needless to say, anyhow, I'm just gonna leave this as raw footage to prove my point how calm I am on a daily basis. I lit my cigarette finally. Let me put my gloves on. That's cherry, so it's windy out. It'll stay lit. So let me put my fucking gloves on real quick. So with that being said, dude, no, I'm not scary, thank you. I have superhuman hearing, very good hearing. That's what I meant by superhuman hearing. I can hear people from all the way across the fucking way. Anyways, yeah, I lost my train of thought. What was I getting at here? Anyways, that's the basis of the content. Anyways, what I'm doing is very difficult. It's not the easiest thing in the world. And a lot of people were like, well, this is considered manipulation, that's why you're in trouble. And it's like, no, it's not considered manipulation because I told people the truth. I told them what I was doing all the way through. I was trying to get you to stop so I could continue healing, and continue with my life because I didn't deserve any of this. And a matter of fact, I've been calm all the way through. I've never put my hands on anybody throughout all this. And that's remarkable. So, with that being said, I've handled this quite well. I've been the calmest one out here. And, that's about it, dude. I'm doing something very difficult. I'm not able to get out of what? What am I getting out of it? Nothing. Anyways. Shit. The trespass was to essentially run an investigation, for one. Two, help people understand that they've been lied to by my family, from my family, about me. And in several directions I proved the lies that they told everybody. And this was just extreme self-defense in all directions, and I handled it very, very well, considering all the parameters. I haven't got charged once. I mean, I haven't, I used the wrong word. It's getting very hard to think because, well, but, it's very traumatic is why. Anyways, I got falsely charged with the trespass. And this was extreme self-defense from the very start. So there's nothing I've done wrong. With that being said, This is only the people's responsible fault. If whatever that case may be, it's whoever's responsible. This started when I was a kid. I was born a genius, like I said. When I was a kid, I would take apart my army toys. I found a screw in the back of the army toy, and I'm like, interesting. I'm like, there's only one screw. And it turns out that one screw, there's like multiple pieces, you fall apart. I put it all back together, and then I would set up like scenes with my army guys and make like a movie scene with a disposable camera. And I'd snap pictures, this, that, and the other thing. That was genius. And then I used to conduct science experiments, and I used to fill up a bucket of water and put my army guys in and throw it in the freezer. And it was the coolest thing ever. Anyways, the psychologists were like, "But you can't do that to people. You can't freeze people." I'm like, "It's plastic. It's plastic, dude. I'm not even a person. It's experimentation." Anyways, I'm not gonna scream anymore. This is very scary. I don't trust the health industry. I have a psych eval on the 28th. My reality is staying open-ended. I've adjusted to the point where I can stay calm. I'm ready to go in for the psych eval. I don't know if they're gonna try to fudge it, which you could tell I got the highest IQ based off of what I'm describing, and I don't know what to expect, and I'm scared, to be very honest with you. But I'm handling it the best I can, and I'm handling it very well. Manipulation is based off of lies. This is not considered manipulation simply because I told the truth all the way through. I'm able to replicate my memories because I have a photographic memory. I can replicate memories through video. And that's about it. That's all I have to say. My hands are freezing through these gloves. I'm gonna go in and edit this video together to prove my point.
I freak out. I go across the hall
What's up, man?
to this other woman, and I'm showing it to her. Before a lady gets her. I'm like, what?
So I've exercised my brain all the way through. And I still have a heart somehow throughout all that. I never once turned evil, and I never will. A lot of people in my entire life were like, what are you planning, dude? Like, first I wanted to be a business owner. Now I have found love in entertainment because, well, I love to see people laugh. I love to make people's day, and I love to love. So, that's what I'm planning. I want to be an entertainer. A lot of people don't understand smart people, but you have to be smart to be extremely safe. And you have to be extremely safe to be smart. Vice versa. Anyways, this has been one hell of a ride, dude. I don't know what to expect. And I'm scared, so. With that being said, I'm gonna end this with kind of a comedic, not really comedic. I felt really bad about it, but I was so embarrassed. I was juggling it was boxes this big of cereal. I had two boxes of cereal. It was Apple Jacks and Fruit Loops, so it was good because I haven't had cereal in a long time, so it was good. I'm juggling those, and I'm like, I could juggle two. Now, if you switch to apples, a little bit different. So they were a little bit bigger than I'm used to. I usually use like, small balls or smaller apples, but it was like full-size apples. I throw them up. Kind of got the rotation down. Missed one on the table. I throw it up again. One goes behind me and hits this dude in the head, and I'm like, oh my god, dude, I'm sorry, dude. I did not mean to do that. Oh, shit. I'm like, fuck, dude, sorry. Anyways, he hands me it. We were good, dude. But I was like, I'm putting these back. No, I'm good. I'm not doing this shit right now. Fuck, dude. Put the apples back and I was like, finished my cereal. And then before that, I chucked the gallon jug. It spun in the air. And I caught it. So I was like, if that spilled, I was like, if it did, I would have had it. He was joking, of course. Oh my god, dude, it's been a hell of a day, dude. But it's been a hell of a life at that. Holy shit. I've had to save my life my whole life. This is getting annoying at this point, dude. I literally said earlier tonight, I was like, you know what? If you falsely lock me up, dude, I'll just turn into a fucking vegetable. I'm like, you're gonna need to change me because I'm not changing myself. I was like, I'm gonna shit myself. You gotta clean that too. You're probably gonna jack me off, and I'm like, I'll wake me up. I'll enjoy that. But then you're gonna start attacking me again. I'll go right to sleep again and start the process over. Like, we can play the game. And then let's play. You want to play the game? We'll play. Anyways, this is getting a little bit out of hand and a little bit ridiculous, so a little bit fed up with this shit, dude. So that's what's going on, and that's what has been going on. And that's my entire realm of my content. God bless, dude. Okay, to address the elephants in the room, the bomb threats. Oh my god, dude. The army has the say in that. I have no say in that. But I was receiving death threats from everybody around me, including the pharmacist in CVS. Because I'm able to pick the right medication. I don't agree with the layout because they hide shit based off of the layout. And then people comment, they're like, this, that, and the other thing, that's scared of me for no reason. I'm literally just having a cigarette outside on the bench of CVS, and people are like, having a fucking hard time about it. Anyways, to address the elephant in the room regarding that, I was receiving death threats. People were threatening to shoot me. People were, threatening very scary things. People were threatening to falsely lock me up. It's extremely scary. So in order to fight back and try to put them in their place, you need to scare them first and then humble them. So that's how that was my poison of choice, to give it back. But I took the wrong turn when I was in Point Judith, and I ended up at an army base. And I sensed something weird, and I'm I sensed unsafety, and there was something weird going on over there, and I didn't know what it was, and I'm like, what are you guys doing? What are you guys planning? And I walked back and found my way back to Wakefield. I mean, I took the wrong turn. I got turned around, and then, yeah. So, needless to say, there was no intent behind it. I don't have that jurisdiction. How would I have the jurisdiction to do that? Come on now, guys. Fuck.
But I was receiving a lot of threats, so that was my poison of choice to put them in their goddamn place for doing that to me. It didn't work, but finally people started. I started, upping my technique, and a couple days ago, in an 18-minute video, I was like, people were like, we have a right to target you. I was like, oh yeah, right. Yeah, you have a right to target me. I was like, okay, keep going. I'm all ears. Keep going. Let's go. What do you got to say? I'm all ears. I'm listening right now. What are you doing? Keep going. And people started fucking losing their absolute fucking minds. I was like, dude, but finally, the whole state's calming down. Finally, nobody's targeting me. Everybody is somehow starting to love me now, which I don't get, dude. How do you go from threatening to somebody to loving me? Like, and whatever, dude. Anyways, dude, I'm tired. I'm scared shitless, to be honest with you. But I'm able to operate under pressure. I'm able to align to whatever, comes my way. But at the same time, if I'm able to align, if I have a handle, that doesn't mean leave me. That means help. But at the same time, dude, it's like...
This is rigged. It's rigged. No, you're not the first one that said that. I know.
Anyway, I don't have anything more to say, dude. I'm tired. I'm going to bed.